All right, in this video, we're going to be talking about narratives and living your life through music. So, obviously, okay, finally, it's past 10 seconds. Nigga, life is shit. So, because life is shit, and because it's the same thing each and every day, and because so much of your time is put into work, right? And yeah, basically life is shit, right? I've noticed within myself, right? So I'm just gonna speak on me, even though I do think people also have this as well. But I noticed myself living my life through music or living through music. And obviously, if you've heard about music, right? And when I talk about heard about music, I worded it wrong. When you've heard about like the effects of music on your subconscious or those type of videos, obviously music is very powerful. I think most people would have a really hard time giving up music. Like music is one of those things. It's like an essential in life. Like it's fucking music, right? But the thing I've noticed is that for me, right, because every day is the same and because every day is so gray and so bland and it's just, wake up, go to work, try to hustle, try to do as much as I can, but then go to bed, right? Because every day is just moving at snail's pace, right? And because I'm not in the position that I want to be in life, I find myself playing music to help out my narrative. Now, what I mean by narrative is like people have this thing of narratives of who they are, right? And narratives are extremely important because it's basically your identity of who you think you are, right? And you'll hear this in like manifestations and stuff like that, in those type of videos where they'll talk about your identity and you have to assume who you are and all this other shit, which is like, if you look into most of these people, they're scammers, they're Freemasons, and even if their advice is legit in like mind control or basically like opposing your will into the world, if you're imposing a will that you want from your desires, 9 times out of 10 your desires are something that is not from the Lord, right? So it's like you're pulling from something demonic, right? Just put it bluntly out there. And so happy I'm speaking like this because like most of my videos have been more kind of like not really talk about the spiritual that much, but nigga, yes, you're pulling from the demonic if you're doing something like that. Or it could just be chances. I'm not gonna deny that either. But because the narrative that I have currently right now is that right now I'm just my phase, but then one day I'm gonna pop off. That's the narrative I have. And for years, I'm like, even when I was a kid, I was 100% convinced that something's gonna work out. I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna be all this other stuff, right? Now, obviously, in time we'll see. But because I have this, and because of me going through traumas and me overcoming a lot of hurdles and a lot of like backlash in my life, I've gone to a pretty strong identity where I've kind of I won't even say convince myself because I from birth I feel like I was supposed to be where I think I'm supposed to be at, but I've convinced myself that this is just the life that I'm supposed to have right now. Again, time will tell, but especially God will, because now that I'm a Christian man, if success means I gotta meet P Diddy, or success means I gotta be Freemason, or success means I gotta paint my nails or do some like gay nigga shit, I think fuck that. But I'm just saying, if I make it authentically, all praise to God, because that's the only way I want to make it is with Him. But the thing is, right, currently right now, since I'm in my like underdog phase, I've noticed this, and even before, I noticed that I've always played music about the rags to riches, rap music. And even though I'm trying my hardest not to listen to rap music anymore, because I just want to better my relationship with the Lord, I will be honest, I do find myself listening to rap music, right? And even though it's not 100% sinful, obviously they'll have a couple bars here and there, but the music that I play is always about me overcoming or me facing hardship and overcoming. And so I kind of noticed that this has kind of become my life in a sense where I fantasize about me making it. I fantasize about me like doing what these rappers are doing. But then if you take the music away, nigga, I'm just going to work. Like nigga, I walk to work feeling like the fucking general, feeling like Mr. Superman and shit. But then nigga, it's nigga put the fries in the bag 20 minutes later. So it's like I find myself that narratives are extremely important for your success, right? And this could be good or bad in the sense of how you view yourself is how you view yourself is how you will attack your day. You know, if you wake up and feel like a loser, you're gonna be a loser all day. Now, I don't ever want to be one of those channels that give out fake advice, because obviously there's some things in life you can't control, right? And you know the things that you can't control, right? You could just look at yourself, or you could just look at your situation, and it's gonna be like, okay, there are just some things that is, you know, it is what it is. I can't do nothing about it, right? But how you view the situation and then how you move after knowing that is gonna predict if you have success, or predict if you're just gonna have a good life, or how, you know, your next moves. And so narrative is something that I think a lot of people are suffering and they're lost. You know, I noticed that most men cannot walk past another man and look them in the eyes, right? Now, obviously, it's different, right? Because it's like, especially if you look like me, like I get a lot of like a lot of hood people. They think I'm hood or some shit. So like, if they walk past me, usually if they have good energy, like dab up they'll do the thing that us men do this too, and most men do that with me. But you know, obviously, right, if you know, if you're in like Cali, or if you're in like or you can just kind of tell by the individual. If you look more than a couple seconds, then yeah, nigga, you might catch a fade. But I'm just saying that the fact that most men can't hold eye contact with other people is just extremely telling that they're lost, right? And I'll never claim loss is something that I can fix, because at the end of the day, if you are lost in life, that can only come through Jesus Christ, right? That can only come through Jesus Christ. So if you're and God even says it in his book that they're lost people in the world. There are lost souls in the world, looking for each and every way except the Lord, right? But even for the people who are lost, but I've noticed that there are people who are clearly lost, right? But they still have a strong enough identity or a strong enough narrative in their head of who they are, where they can hold eye contact. And even having that, guys, it kind of makes you a celebrity in the sense, right? And it makes it, and it's something like primal of being comfortable in your own skin, right? It's something that like it makes you stand out. You know, it like, I'll just say it, like it kind of makes you like a celebrity, man, because it's like it's like as soon as you stand out, and as soon as you're confident, bro, everybody else is like stares at you, and it's like either they're envious, where they want some of that, or they try to, like, especially if you're a man, they'll do like the masculine thing of trying to be more masculine than you, or they're, you know, especially in the gym, man, it's like, oh my God, man. But that one can also be because they're like insecure, or you know, if you can attract a lot of girls, which, you know, just being able to attract a lot of girls doesn't mean you're attractive. You know, usually it is, but sometimes it could just be attention seekers, because, you know, these bitches are whores and they want attention. But when you're able to understand who you are, or not even convince yourself, but know what your narrative is, or know who you are, it's like it gives you like a boost on other people, and it makes people uncomfortable, right? You know, there's this rapper named Central C. Now, I don't know the specific song he had. It's on one of his songs. I think it's believe it's called, it's like Up North, where he talks about he would re-listen to the same songs each and every day. And basically, I know exactly what he's talking about. And I know a lot of people who are kind of like me, or kind of think like me, they're gonna be like, oh shit, that's what he means. And this is gonna be explaining this. So I have this habit where I'll listen to specific songs or specific music that keeps me in the state of me grinding, or me being like successful, or me being like me getting success or chasing success. But it's very specific songs, right? And these songs, I believe, subconsciously enforce your narrative, right? Now, again, this could be very dangerous because, I haven't researched this enough, but I do think that most demons are in the subconscious. So any negative spirit, it's either going to be in your magnetic field, or it's going to be like in your subconscious if you are possessed. That's what I think, right? I'm not 100% sure on that, but so it could be used for good or bad. So again, music is powerful. So again, as a Christian, watch what you are playing, watch what you're putting into your ears, right? But this thing of living through your music has literally made people successful, right? And a clear example is Central C. Now, obviously, I think it was up north, but him basically saying that in that rap was like me identifying like, oh shit, he did it as well. Where basically, if you make your narrative so fucking strong on who you are, it's kind of imposing your will onto the world, for good or bad, right? And as much as I don't want to give no fake news of all this self-improvement like shit that they give you about just go to the gym, or just do this, just do that, I do want to explain to you guys that narrative is extremely important, and narrative will dictate your life. So am I saying that just because you thinking positively is going to help you? No. Because I also dropped a video about how optimism is a drug, and I spoke about a little bit about positive thinking there. But I'm just saying your identity is way much more powerful than anything else, right? So, one of the ways where you can enhance this is through music, right? Now, again, do not try to make this an okay pass to just listen to fucking rap music all day. At the end of the day, guys, you have to follow the Lord, right? And I'm not saying that you have to be like me and chase success, right? But I've gone to a point in my life where there's nothing else. Each and every day is basically shit, and I have to get money now. So first off, I can take care of my family, and just to have that freedom of, okay, well, that's it. I accomplished that, right? Because at this point, following God, it's a blessing, but it's also challenging. And a couple months ago, I would have been too prideful to say that, but it is challenging, man. So yeah, I mean, I have nothing else to say with that. Obviously, I'd have to talk with the Lord and just pray that He gives me more strength. But even though I have overcome a lot, there's still so much more that I need to improve on, and not for my salvation, because I already know that Jesus is with me, and it's become very clear and evident. And when the Lord does specific things for you, where it makes you know that He's here, or He's with you, it makes life so much more sweet. But it's like another pressure on you, right? Because I'm gonna drop a video next time about how to actually stop, or one of the things that made me stop masturbating in terms of now, or gooning. I don't know if you can say that word. And I think that video will actually help you a lot, because it would actually put a lot of fear into you guys. Because the fear of the Lord is the beginning of all knowledge. But yeah, guys. So to summarize the video, right? I think that listening to music can become a trap, in the sense of it can become a thing of optimism of, because you program yourself to listen to a specific type of music to basically keep you on through your day, right? To keep you motivated, or to keep you to something, and escapism, right? it could lead you to nowhere while you thinking that it's gonna lead you to somewhere, right? When really it's just a motivation boost. It's just a dopamine hit. But it could also help you build your narrative and build your identity, right? And I wanted to drop two separate videos, but I think these two topics kind of like collided with each other. So yeah, guys. Obviously, I'm off the top when I do these videos, so if I wrote it down, it could have been a little bit better. But I think I got the main point out there. Your narrative is extremely important, number one, and then the music can be extremely dangerous, or it could be extremely helpful depending on how you play it, right? But anyway, guys, this has been Los, and I catch you in the next one.